approximately a couple of minutes to respond to the questions. And so again, we have our timekeeper up front here, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. Moving on with the first question here posed by faculty. In an effort to reduce costs for summer school and provide more classes for students in summer, CCFF has proposed to do away with the pro-rata pay for full-time faculty in return for a 7% increase to their base pay. What is your position on this matter? And you have the questions in front of you there.
First of all, I would support this proposal if the budget will allow it. We do have to review the budget again and see if this would be something that could be done and implemented. However, I'm sure everybody knows because of the severe budget problem in the state of California and the reduced apportionments to community colleges and the cuts that have already been made, it may not be likely anytime soon. In an improved economy, I would definitely support this proposal because I definitely think that teachers are valuable and the education of our young minds is utmost to the crucial success of any society.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. Go ahead, Sandra.
Good afternoon. I want to I would like to thank you for having me here today. I know firsthand how education can transform lives. I know this being the first in my family to graduate from high school, college, and medical school. Currently, I'm a family medicine physician serving the same communities that the Cerritos Community College serves. And ensuring measurable student success should be of paramount importance to the Board of Trustees, whether the student's goal is to transfer to a four-year school or to be workforce ready in a defined time frame. Eliminating pro-rata pay would be something I'd be open to consider, and my priority is to protect class availability. Whatever I have done, I've led by consensus, and my goal would be to engage faculty and actively listen to their concerns in hopes of arriving at a compromise and striking a balance.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next question here. This is a two-part question here. In these economic times, there is a public call for shared sacrifice. How would you implement this?
I do believe that the sacrifices should be shared equally among all constituents on the campus. I voted against a raise for administrators at Cerritos College and for certain administrators who received new positions. And the cash in lieu of benefits payments for trustees has come up before. That may also be done away with in the future. I definitely support constituents across campus sharing the burdens of a decreased budget, and it's unfortunate, but that's the reality of the situation. So I don't think that any one constituency should be unfairly targeted, and we need to really set our goals and realize what our priorities are. Our priorities are not about any one particular person or ego. It's about the students at this college, the people who teach the students, and the people who support the students. So that's what we should be focusing on.
Thank you, Dr. Cho. Go ahead, Dr. Salazar.
I believe that all employees, including part-time and full-time faculty, should have commensurate pay with our neighboring community college districts. We can all agree that in order to have successful students, we need the highest quality instruction. We need to increase the number of public-private partnerships and to work with my colleagues on the board to identify new sources of funding. We need to be creative and think outside the box. As I speak to the trustees of other community colleges, I have come to realize that some of these colleges are relying less on state dollars and more on corporations and philanthropy. In these tough economic times, we need to ensure fiscal accountability from the Board of Trustees. The cash in lieu issue needs to be revisited, and I would like to hear my opponent's current position on the cash in lieu, as she has cashed in over $70,000 since her here on the board, in addition to her stipend, and these are resources that could have gone to something else.
First of all, the cash in lieu
in terms of time here, we're going to go ahead and go back and continue with the question. There's a second part of this question here, so I'm going to go ahead and pose that. How will you boost the morale of our part-time faculty who teach a significant portion of our students, whose pay scale are the lowest in the state, whose office hours are uncompensated, and who receive neither benefits nor job security?
I think it's a shame and it's a disgrace that part-time faculty are reimbursed at such a low rate at Cerritos College. I would support looking at a collaboration with other community colleges and four-year schools in the state of California to see if part-time faculty who teach at Cerritos College and other four-year colleges and community colleges can purchase health insurance at the group rate through a collaborative that could be developed so that they can be covered. Because if part-time faculty are teaching at Rio Hondo College, at Cypress College, at Cerritos College, they should be able to get health care benefits. And why not allow them to purchase insurance at the group rate? So there needs to be a collaborative that's set up at the state level so that these part-time faculty are covered. I also support part-time faculty being compensated for their office hours. I think that we need to have more mentors and teachers on campus for students. And we have to make more of a priority of really showing everyone that education is utmost and foremost and important in the minds of not just the Board of Trustees, but everybody who works here at this college.
Okay. Dr. Salazar?
I also support part-time faculty being compensated for office hours. And again, my proposal would be to revisit the cash in lieu. What I don't understand is how part-time faculty do not qualify for health insurance, but the Board of Trustees does when that only entails 1 or 2 meetings a month. So that's something I'd like to revisit.
Okay, thank you for that response. We are going to move on now in terms of time and questions in dealing with the questions submitted by ACC. Students are concerned about increasing unit costs, rising book prices, and fewer classes offered by the college. What is your plan to reduce costs directed towards students? Go ahead, Dr. Chu.
I do also support the expansion of the Kaleidoscope project. I think that we can try to encourage a program or process where students can mentor each other, students who have successfully completed their classes and courses, and expand the tutoring program, expand the learning centers on campus, and basically, increase our resources into the actual institution itself, the educational part and the people part. So I'd like to revisit the allocation of funds from vintage to personnel instead of non-personnel student success funds, and that could also be a potential new revenue source. There may be other ways. We do get some grants. It would be great if we could implement and develop other ways of receiving revenue. But at this point, the majority of our resources do come from the state, from the government, and it depends on taxpayers. So that's why I support Governor Brown's tax initiative. And I also can understand that the GO bond, even though I voted against it, would bring in a lot of new revenue to the college. And it may prevent diversion of funds from the capital outlay portion of our budget, so that could save money for the college. That could be used for classes, for sections, for faculty pay, and for classified pay, and whoever else needs to be able to keep their job. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cho. Go ahead, Sam.
We can secure corporate sponsors and philanthropy, not just for our vocational education programs, but also for our course sections. Students I have talked to have expressed their frustration at the cost of books and rising costs for materials. I would like to examine comparison costs between our community college operation and competitors. I would also encourage and support ASCC leadership to bring to the Board of Trustees student-driven alternatives.
Thank you. Moving on to the next question here from students. Many of the students at Cerritos College lack basic skills. They need academic guidance and traditional classroom instruction as opposed to computer-aided instruction. At the same time, in this physical crisis, an increasing number of students are unable to transfer to a four-year university due to section cuts. How do you ensure an open access community college stay true to its mission?
We have realized the passage of SB 1440 that was passed in order to streamline the transfer of students to Cal State colleges from community colleges. So that is one success that has happened. Other things are that it just boils down to the financial resources that we have and the allocation of the financial resources. And we need to be able to show that education is our top priority, that students are our top priority. And in order to show that students are a top priority, we need to be able to hire faculty who can teach students. We need to be able to hire teachers who can be motivated and inspire young students to be able to go out and make a difference in this world. So I believe that the times are dire, but if we do try to allocate our funding in the best manner possible, then everybody wins. This election is not about who wins or loses. It's about the people at Cerritos College. It's about the students. And that's what we have to remember. This is not about anybody's ego. We have to get the ego out of the way, and we have to concentrate on how we can make this campus better for everybody. Thank you.
Dr. Salazar?
This question truly struck an emotional chord with me as I'm running for the college board to maintain the door of community college open access open, or better yet, opportunity open. In a recent article by the LA Times, they're estimating about 500,000 students are on waiting lists across the country at the community college level. This is not acceptable. They're now in an impasse and have nowhere to go. Cerritos Community College has given a second opportunity to many people, including the displaced worker, the returning veteran, and the recent high school student who now has that opportunity. Opportunities today mean prosperity tomorrow. For this reason, we must protect open access and ensure student success. I strongly feel that we must invest in increasing the availability of course sections necessary for our students to transfer or reach their goals. While in the same vein, we must also maximize the integration of technology to also increase the offering of online courses. We cannot sway away from our mission or from the power and promise of the 1960 Master Plan for Higher Education here in California.
Thank you. That concludes the questions that were generated by faculty and students. We're going to open up a brief question and answer from the audience. So we're going to have about 4 minutes here. So if you have a question, try to be very specific and concise with your question here so that we can allow for time here because we are limited. So we want to go ahead and open it up. Are there any questions from the audience for Dr. Cho or Dr. Salazar? We have a mic here.
I would like to know what personal and professional skills you possess that will make you the best candidate to be on the Board of Trustees.
First of all, I'm a community mental health psychiatrist. I graduated with a medical degree from Louisiana State University in New Orleans. I completed my psychiatry training at UC Irvine, and I'm board certified in my specialty. I've been doing community mental health since I finished my residency, and I've always worked in underprivileged, underserved communities where there's a huge need for mental health services and treatment. I feel like I can make a difference. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but I feel like I could make a difference because I'm in tune with the needs of the students, and I believe that cultural sensitivity and cultural competency and understanding where students are coming from is of the utmost importance. Thank you.
Dr. Salazar?
Okay, well, I feel that part of my qualifications include being a family medicine physician, board certified, serving the same communities that the Cerritos College Board of Trustees serves, and I see a lot of community college students come through my office on a daily basis. Also, I feel the opportunities that I have taken advantage of have given me those tools to help work together to come up with these creative solutions in these economic hard times. Also, I'm on the board of a charter school currently, and I'm also on the State Bar Examining Committee. So a lot of my extracurricular activities revolve around education, and that is my passion, and I want to give back.
Thank you. We have time in this particular session for maybe one more question from the audience. So if there's any other questions that you want to pose to our candidates, go ahead. Any other questions? Mr. Obasahan. Yes, yes, sir.
Will any of you be willing to attend Senate meetings
Sure. Go ahead, Dr. Cho.
Yes, I would like to, if my schedule permits. I'm now working in a new administrative position in the city of Santa Ana for facility, so I'll have to see if it will fit, but I would definitely love to come to a Senate meeting.
I also would love to attend and be part of those meetings. I feel that we all need to work together in these tough economic times and come up with solutions together. We need to all have a voice at the table, including with the Board of Trustees, and I would do everything possible to make my presence known and be available to the students as well as faculty and staff.
Dr. Cho, Dr. Salazar, that's all the time we have for this particular session.